Back more Angel. This is episode 6 of season 1, and I'm very excited to carry on and see what's going to happen next as we delve deeper into the show. Last episode was so much fun. It got very dark, but it was really enjoyable as well. Not for the son who was locked away in a brick wall and died, but, he's rooming with Cordelia now as a ghost, so good for him. Could be worse, I guess. You could be rooming with Cordelia from season 1 of Buffy, so every crowd. But yeah, really fun episode. Really loving the show so far, all the characters and everything, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. And this is also kind of a special occasion because this is the last ever reaction I will be filming in this room. Never again will you see those posters that way in the background on that wall. I am leaving Plymouth, because I finished uni, so I'm going back home. And yeah, my degree's over, so I won't be coming back, except for graduation, but that's not until September. So yeah, this is it, 2 years of filming videos in this place. Kind of nuts. So yeah, it's kind of nice to end on a Buffyverse reaction for this place that's held some great memories of great reactions and sad memories of sad reactions. But yeah, regardless of that, it's nice to be ending it with Buffyverse. Hopefully the episode will be good, and yeah, very excited to carry on with the show, see what's going to happen next, so let's get into it. Oh shit, ninja.
You want to play all day? Play with yourself. You charge me or get me gone, because I'm telling you, nothing.
Don't think it's that kind of show.
Look at the pictures.
Bite me.
Where is he?
She has a friend who can bite you. He's a vampire. Oh.
They should have cut off all the limbs both heads this time. Remember to bury the parts separately? I don't want this thing coming back to life again.
Neither do I.
That's it?
He appreciates us in his own unappreciative way.
You know what I think? I think he uses his torture
Oh.
of the night status as a license to be rude and insensitive. Sure, he's polite to the helpless and the downtrodden.
Oh,
He
man.
ignores the people that are closest to him, the people who matter the most, you know? Can you say clueless?
Oh, Cordelia.
It's like you don't have a pulse.
I don't.
Well, spend a little time listening to how the living interact.
Well,
Kate.
Angel.
donkey.
Sure.
Mr. and Mrs. Spock need to mind meld now.
His name's Tony Papazian.
You don't want to get a reputation for going outside the department.
I don't want to get a reputation for getting you killed.
Aw. That's nice.
I can imagine how not fun it is to read about, coroner stuff.
Lame.
Dad.
Katie!
Well, I saw you where you
Dad?
were running out saying hi. It's no trouble, really.
Detective, you got a call on 229?
Thanks.
Oh,
I guess I better.
seems like she makes an effort and he doesn't. Is he a demon? Is he a giant praying mantis?
Hi! It's exciting, isn't it? I just love boat trips. Herb Saunders' Baltimore. It's Herb Saunders. Right,
What does he look like?
In this town. I've been driving around in circles. Benny, I don't like that guy.
Oh.
Wasn't it? I knew the hat was too much. I had to do something. I mean, he was getting away.
So you
That
decided to dress like a road flare and put my ass
is
on
iconic.
the line.
Oh.
If I'd have known how bad you wanted me, I might have had you catch me a little sooner.
And if I had known how much you needed the exercise, I might have let you run a little longer.
Oh.
Yes, Mr.
Ooh.
Papazian.
Dodgy
We're
lawyers.
well aware of the situation.
And are you aware? I got a certain thorn in my side.
Oh.
Oh, yes. It means we'll shine a light in the darkest corners of this precinct and give the people a view of the brutality and callousness of this police force that'll make Mark Furman look like Gentle Ben.
Oh my god, is this guy now to breathe?
Like this one.
Oof.
But you have yet to make any mention of these new shoes.
Look, Cordelia, women's shoes. Men, they just don't.
Great shoes, Neil.
So you're right. Bayesian's planning something. What'd you hear?
Well, he would notice that.
Bayesian's planning something.
Congratulations. Here's hoping the bus doesn't fall apart before you finish filing the paperwork. Damn lawyers, huh?
Yeah.
Arlen, you see this? In my day, we didn't need any damn sensitivity.
I'm guessing not.
It's not a good
too many
thing.
of you want to be here right now.
Oh boy.
Quick show of hands. Who actually wants to be here? Well, it'll allow you to manage some of your aggression, so you won't feel so tired all the time. In short,
Oh, I need some of this.
it'll make you better cops. Whoever holds this has the freedom to express himself or herself completely, without judgment, within the confines of this room.
Oh man.
6 brothers.
And what was that like?
I learned to hit back pretty quick.
Your brothers went kind of hard on you, huh? Where were your parents?
Oh shit.
My mom.
Something that you always wanted to say to your mother, but never could.
Will you marry me?
That's not the attitude, Kate. No boy. She's getting the stick.
You'd like to share? Your inappropriate sarcasm masks anger. And do you know what anger is, Kate?
Is he talking to me?
It's just fear. Fear of being hurt. Fear of loss.
Big mood.
He wants you dead.
Well, I get that. Just saying that he must be in some kind of pain to have to strike out at others in that way.
Are you okay?
God, listen to me. Suddenly I'm Dr. Laura. Next thing you know, I'll be talking about processing in my inner child.
Is the doctor guy, sensitivity guy evil? Is that stick
I'm
a
sensing
magic
some
thing?
tension. I think you should tell me. What are you feeling?
Yeah, you're nuts, aren't you?
Concerned. We went to great effort and expense to get you into that precinct.
Oh.
That makes me feel all warm inside.
Makes me feel all nervous inside. Oh, that looks good.
What's that old song? Picture your audience in their underwear?
Way ahead of you.
Damn, Kate.
Happy retirement, Daddy.
Before we cut the cake, the other Officer Lockley, the good-looking one, would like to say a few words. Kate?
I just want the cake.
You forgot how to be anything but a cop a long time ago.
Oh
And
boy.
maybe that's why I became a cop too. After Mom died, you stopped, you know. It was like you couldn't stand the sight of me.
I thought it would be something to do with the
Her
mum.
face, her eyes looking up at you.
Oh shit, this is
But big girls
deep.
don't cry, right? Not one word about a better place.
Cake?
You couldn't even tell a scared little girl a beautiful lie.
Oh shit.
God, I wanted to drink with you. I wanted you to laugh once with me. My best friend Joanne. Her mom was soft and she smelled like macaroni and cheese. And she'd pick me up on her lap and she'd rock me. She said she wanted to keep me for herself. That I was good and sweet.
Oh.
Let it out, Dale. I always knew your mother was controlling.
I'm
man.
passive-aggressive. I'm
It's spreading.
Use the process.
You have the most intense eyes. This is such a mix.
I mean, she's not wrong.
I thought that enigmatic thing was just an act to get women.
I need to know his name.
We all need so much.
I like seeing this different side to Kate though, even if it is like brought on.
Thumb sucking?
Alcohol.
Someone's got a crush.
Oh my god.
What?
It's right there. How he feels about you? I don't know what to do about it.
Please. We just joke around.
Where is the truth? Where is the truth? He's hiding behind Mr. Humor.
Oh my god.
Look at Doyle. Really look at him. What do you see?
A bad double polyblend?
That's defense, Cordelia. Maybe you should try to open your heart to a new possibility.
Do it! Make out!
Hey, you know, she's starting to make some sense.
Oh no! Oh, I feel so bad for Doyle. I really want those two to get together. On the one hand, I'm kind of like, oh, people opening up about their feelings shouldn't be like used as a joke, but also it's kind of highlighting the issue. I don't feel like it's trying to do it maliciously. So actually, this is very interesting.
What's going on here?
It's a good question, Alan.
Alan. Fucking Alan.
Do I have this personal problem you're gonna share till dawn?
And I don't want to come off as insensitive, but if either one of you try and stop me, I'll have to blow you the crap away because I'm gonna find my dad.
Whoa.
Which demon do you worship? Huh? Which one gives you your power?
This is a very good way of like revealing stuff about characters, so it doesn't feel like forced. So that's very clever as well. It's interesting that they've chosen to do this kind of story with like the police as well, as opposed to any other workplace. I almost forgot about you. Is this all the scheme to like get him out or something? Oh no. All of them?
Remember this, brothers. An act of kindness is just as manly.
I was gonna say, they're just gonna attack him. Oh god.
This is so not good.
Okay, I think someone needs a hug.
Oh no!
Ew. Ew.
Well, shit. Okay, now this I am interested in seeing.
What's your damage?
Hey, let's just talk about the stick, yeah? He uses it as a talisman. Anyone who handles it becomes infected. He admitted it to me after I threatened him with physical violence.
What's his trick?
Wolfram and Hart, the firm, hired this guy to neutralize the police. You both withdraw when I go vamp. I feel you judge me.
We
Oh
won't
my
judge you.
god.
Will we? Give it a try.
Closeness is too important to me right now. Angel, Kate is in there.
Along with Killer Guy.
Love me, Kate. Need me the way I need you. But you never notice. Never return my desire. You just sit at that desk next to mine. Smelling the way you do. Taunting me.
Oh.
You guys, you're working for little Tony now. You'll find I'm stern.
Oh.
That's fair. Now come on, let's go kill us a lady cop.
Oh, you're an asshole.
You need a rock.
It almost feels like Doyle and Cordelia are like mum and dad and Angel's their little boy.
Let's go.
It's interesting.
That's vandalism.
So obviously he was probably turned for him when he was quite
We should leave it.
young.
Would you come on?
What's the magic word?
It makes sense, it still has that kind of mindset.
We don't have time for this.
There's always time to be considerate of others, Cordelia.
Oh, please.
See? So hard now, was it?
I like that, because that's what she was complaining about at the start.
I'm feeling some serious negative energy in this room.
Go on. Take care of him.
I've been wanting to see you again.
I'm sure he'd say the same thing, but that gun really makes you come off as hostile.
That and the body language, it's so close.
Yeah.
Now I'm feeling unheard. You know, Anthony, you can be a rainbow and not a painbow. I mean,
Wow, even I thought that was shit.
You.
No, you.
Come here.
I kind of love this.
Anyone for vomit?
Yep.
We can't waste valuable energy on you when there are more pressing issues at hand.
Oh.
Our relationship is terminated,
Ooh.
as is this phone call.
No, don't say anything. You make an idiot out of yourself, embarrass me in front of the guys. You don't bring that up ever again. As far as I'm concerned, didn't happen.
Oh. Oh, that's really sad. I'm glad he's leaving. Mood killer. Oh, bless her. On the plus side, I bet that cake was nice. Really good episode. I did enjoy it. Quite a solid one. Not my favourite of the season, but I still really liked what they were going for, and some of the character stuff they did in this episode I think was very strong. And I love that they highlighted Kate a lot in this episode. Because she was in, like, is it episode 1 or 2? I think it might have been 2. Not checking the GC right here. Yeah, episode 2. And she had a fairly big role in that. And then she's appeared again since, but very, very briefly. So I'm glad we kind of revisited her properly. And really delved into, like, her family, her past, stuff like that. Learned a lot more about her. Which I loved. That was really, really cool. So I was overjoyed to see that she was going to get a lot of focus in this episode. So that was great seeing her. I think the actress did a great job as well. It was nice to see, like, different sides of Kate and different layers. My iPad's going crazy. It didn't record the picture-in-picture footage. That's good, so I'm going to have to do that again. Wonderful. Anyway, then we also had little Tony. I did kind of enjoy that they had a whole, like, mob boss kind of character and, like, a gang war kind of feel. And, you know, those movies are very much kind of like men with guns fighting each other, beating each other up. We have to be strong men. You know, we don't show emotional weakness to our enemies. You know, keep a straight face for everything. Don't let anything affect you. We had that kind of running through this episode, but also then we had the whole kind of topic of sensitivity and opening up about your feelings and stuff. So I kind of liked that kind of juxtaposition with those two. I thought that worked really nicely, actually. And yeah, little Tony, he's kind of like the stereotypical kind of mob boss leader, if you will. But I think he was more... he's more to serve kind of Kate's story in a way, allowing her to kind of have that story with her father and everything, and connected to that. And of course there to reinforce this whole thing about that creepy law firm. So, you know, I don't really mind that he was just kind of one-note baddie, because, you know, he played a bigger role than, like, the main machine of the episode. So it was interesting nonetheless. And yeah, that was pretty cool, the whole mob boss sensitivity thing, and how they were exploring the topic of, you know, being sensitive. And I did like that while these like cops are being really sensitive about their feelings and stuff, some of them were just fighting each other as well. So it was like they were being sensitive but then insensitive to the violence side of it, which I thought was quite interesting that they did that with some of them, not all of them. Like Angel, for instance, wasn't really a fan of the violence until he actually until he absolutely needed to be. So I liked that kind of parallel with those two things. And yeah, it was just an interesting kind of topic to explore for a show about a brooding vampire who dresses in all black, to do an episode about opening up and being sensitive to things. I thought that was very funny. And I like how they kind of foreshadowed that plotline with Cordelia at the start, feeling like Angel was very insensitive to her and not really appreciating her. And then I came back at the end when he was appreciating her and she was like, this is fucking weird. I quite liked that kind of character journey. I wish they kind of explored that side of it a bit more with how Cordelia felt about it at the end. But, you know, 40-minute episodes don't really have a lot of time, I understand that. And I did like what they did with Kate and her dad at the end. So if I had to choose between that or a Cordelia thing, I quite liked the Kate and dad thing. And yeah, the theme of like underappreciation was also running through the episode. Like Miss Cordelia's complaint to Angel at the start. Kate's dad kind of seeming to underappreciate the relationship he has with the daughter, the fact that he has a daughter at all. And I don't want to say Cordelia underappreciating Doyle. I don't want to say that because she doesn't have to have feelings for him. I hope that will develop because I really like the idea of those two together. But it's not like she absolutely has to have feelings for him. So I don't want to say like she underappreciates Doyle and his feelings for her. It's just like I don't think she appreciated the genuineness of them, if you will. So that was kind of running through the episode, which I found quite interesting. The return of the law firm I thought was cool. That's definitely going to be like a long-running thing. They were in the pilot. I think they've been mentioned again since then. But they really came back in a big way in this episode. So I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with this whole thing. It's a very unique kind of big bad, if they are the big bad. I don't know for sure. but they keep popping up. They're being a bit creepy with all the different clients and stuff. So I really like where that's going. I'm very intrigued by what the end game is with that, if you will. I think that could be quite interesting. So I love that they brought them back, and I'm excited to learn more about that law firm. And one day I will remember to write down the name of it and not just write law firm down. And yeah, Alan, he was a creep. I did like how they were running those sensitivity sessions, and obviously there was kind of some weirdness to it with like the cursed stick of destiny, whatever it is. But it was an interesting kind of commentary on how people, even now, I think, still feel about these things. It's a very kind of relevant episode, even, you know, back then. I think this was like 1999 or something this aired. So here we are, like 20 years later. And I think it's still kind of a taboo subject for people to talk about opening up and stuff. And for the most part, they had this big group of men who were like finally opening up about themselves. And yeah, it's kind of been made a joke of at times. And they were kind of presented as a bit weak in that regard. Because you can open up about your feelings and not have to cry, you know what I mean? But I never felt like the episode was purposely like taking the piss out of that. I feel like they were trying to comment on it. So I think overall it worked well in terms of how that went. But I don't know. I'd be interested in finding out what the general consensus is on this episode, because I don't know if some people would have problems with the way they tried to portray this. But I think they had good intentions, so I'm not going to be too mad. But yeah, it was an interesting thing they did. I liked the introduction of Kate's dad, Trevor. Don't know if we'll see them again, if they're going to continue that story. But it was nice that, very true to life really, and relevant today even now, that Kate could open up about all these problems she had with her father to him, and all he took away was that, oh, you've embarrassed me. You know, he's completely insensitive to how she was feeling. She's like, you embarrassed me on like my leaving thing in front of my friends. Let's pretend that never happened. So nothing's really changed with that relationship, which is really tragic, really, and very sad. But I kind of like that they did that, because I'm sure a lot of those guys felt better with that experience by the end of the episode. Not that we had time to like check in on those characters, but it's fair. So the fact that not everything that is tied up neatly is interesting. It could just mean there's more story to come for that. That'd be interesting to develop. But if that's all we see of like Kate and her dad, or at least just Kate's dad in general, I think it's very sad. But I kind of like that they ended it that way. And it didn't tie up in like a neat bow. Because obviously it would take a lot more work and talking things through than that. But yeah, I like what this episode was trying to like speak to, really, and could they have explored this even further? I think so. But obviously it's a short episode, 40 to 45 minute episode. You're not going to have time to do everything, because I would like some like commentary on the fact that it's okay for men to cry, it's okay for men not to cry if they're not comfortable with that. It's okay for women to cry and not being judged or feel like that they're weaker for having cried, and the same goes for men and everything. And it's okay for women to just be strong and independent and not feel like they have to cry, because you can still be emotional and show emotion and empathy and sympathy and sensitivity without tears. And I think that they did get that across in a few instances in this, particularly like with Angel. I think they got that across very well. So they did touch on like several different messages in terms of like the general theme of sensitivity and opening up about your feelings. But I would have liked if the episode could have been like an hour or something, them to explore like loads of different avenues. But I completely understand that they just don't have the time. So I'm not going to hold that against the episode, really. I just think that could have been an interesting thing to explore if it was like a longer episode. I would say like a two-parter, but I'm not sure. Like they'd have to introduce more elements than just like the little Tony thing to like make it last 2 episodes. I also think it's very interesting that we've gone back to like hiding the fact that Angel's a vampire, so we didn't really have a lot of that really in Buffy. Like by episode 7, like everyone kind of knew he was a vampire. So I think it's interesting that they still have to hide that from Kate and a lot of people. So I like that we've kind of gone back to that. It's an interesting kind of thing to see how they might deal with concealing the fact that Angel's a vampire. Because I think Kate is almost aware of like weird shit going down from like episode 2 and stuff, and even episode 4. We don't talk about episode 4. Episode 4 of Buffy and episode 4 of Angel, we don't talk about them. But they still kind of keep a lot from her, so I think that's very interesting that they're doing that. Doyle and Cordelia, I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them. I think they work so well together as a pair. I don't know. There's something about them I just find so brilliant. I did like how Kate was like, oh, someone's got a crush, and it was like really obvious to her. And I think that made Cordelia aware of that Doyle's feelings were kind of genuine and not just like flirtatious fun. For the first time, so maybe that might change things, who knows, but I'm very excited about that and the prospect of where that could go. And I love them kind of being like mum and dad to Angel when he was kind of like overly sensitive and stuff. I thought they were really funny, so I love them in this episode, and I love that they had Angel be affected by the stick of destiny, the stick of truth, whatever you want to call it, and have him kind of open up about emotions, and he did almost seem kind of childlike in that respect. I like the pacifistic nature of him until he absolutely needed to show some violence, and that's when he did. I liked that a lot. I thought him and Kate together in those states was really funny. David Boreanaz was great when he was kind of taken over by that. I thought, yeah, it's a very versatile actor, and I'm glad that Angel's showcasing that quite a bit. So yeah, that was really great, having Angel be affected by that, and he just really came across as like almost childlike, and I don't know exactly what age he was turned. Obviously we saw it in the flashback, he had like long hair and a moustache and stuff, so he's not like a teenager or anything by any means, but even if he was like turned when he was like 25, 27, whatever, in terms of like, if you snapshot 27 years considering to how long he's lived, like I don't know if it was like 200, 400 years or something, I feel like it was like 200 years, that's such a tiny portion of his life now. So the longer he lives, the more like that human part of his actual development becomes less and less part of his life, less of a chunk of it. So it's almost like that's just his childhood when he was mortal, because he's lived so much longer since then. So it kind of made sense to me that he would be kind of like a childlike state when he was being overly sensitive, because he hadn't really developed that skill because he became like a demon. So I liked that a lot. I thought that made a lot of sense to me, and I thought that was a really cool choice. I don't know if it was just in the writing or if David Boreanaz chose himself to deliver the lines that way, or if it was the director, whatever. But whoever kind of had a hand in that decision as to how David was going to perform those pieces, it really worked for me. I really liked that a lot. So yeah, I really, I'm really appreciated what this episode was going for. I really like that they tried to tackle this theme, and I loved all the character moments we were getting. I like how they're continuing to do this whole law firm shtick, what's going on with that. I love that Kate got a lot of focus, and yeah, a very brave and almost taboo subject to tackle in a way, even now. So the fact that they did this 20 years ago, I really love that, actually. And this is coming from a guy who in January did a performance about, male sensitivity and the stigma that men can't cry. Because we did, it was 4 or 5 hours long. I was in like a group with like loads of other different people, and we're kind of all doing our own little thing for 4 hours. And I was just lying down on a bed and I just cried for 4 or 5 hours. I can't remember which one it was now. I think it was 4 hours, but it might have been 5. It was definitely one of the two. So I just lying there and just cried as people like walking around. It was like an exhibition. So yeah, that's a topic that means a lot to me, because I liked speaking of that and trying to say this isn't a taboo thing. Men can be sensitive, and someone in my group did do about, women can be strong but also be sensitive at the same time. And yeah, so the fact that this episode tackled a similar kind of thing, I really appreciated that. I thought I think they did a lot of things really, really well, with the restriction that is like it had to be like a 40-minute episode. So yeah, very strong episode. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, I can't wait to see what's going to happen next with this season, and especially because they've reintroduced the law firm thing. I feel like we're really going to get into gear now with like a major plot. So I'm very, very excited. And yeah, very enjoyable episode. Really enjoyed what it was going for, and we got some great character stuff and some great acting as well. So I'm happy with that. And that is the last ever, not just the last ever Angel reaction in this room and on this desk, the last reaction I've ever filmed in this room and on this desk. Very sad. But I liked that we ended on an episode that kind of spoke a lot about one of my uni performances, and the only reason I'm leaving this room is because I finished uni. So I like that link. It's funny how things work out. So yeah, that was Angel, season 1, episode 6. Very good stuff. And next will be Buffy, episode 6. Yeah, because 5 was a bit bad, wasn't it? Yeah. So episode 6 of Buffy will be next, followed by episode 7 of Buffy. Those are the next 2. So yeah, good stuff. Really enjoyed this episode. Can't wait for more. And until my next reaction, thanks for watching.